Welcome back into another edition of TM5's Bro Therapy with Bass and the Bear, presented by Marine South. As always, I am Bryce Sparling. I am the Bear, and here with me, my good buddy, Mr. Casey Bass. It's also your birthday today, dude.
What's up, homie?
Happy birthday, pal.
My kid told me I had to wear this.
I like it. A little
That
birthday
I wore for your birthday.
Absolutely. I love it.
But I'm not in a festive mood right now, Bryce. I'm sure we'll get to it later, but I'm gonna leave it on for the intros.
I think you should have wore that to work today. I think that should have been one of those things you wore to work today.
Nah. I got the regional manager to come in tomorrow. Maybe I will just wear it, just walk in with
wear
it.
it tomorrow. Yeah.
First time meeting the guy.
Show him you're a festive person. I'm a festive, happy person. Look at me.
See, just walk in with jazz hands and go, ta-da! It's me, your new sales guy.
Yeah. It's going to show you're outgoing, you're festive, you're happy. You know, you're not afraid to make an entrance. I think that's a win-win situation right there.
Couldn't go cold beer with you this week.
No cold beer?
I had to go with the coffee because I'm old.
Okay.
And my wife made pound cake for my birthday. So
well, I get like one night a week where I get cold beer before 6 p.m. and it's Wednesdays when we don't have baseball practice. So I take that opportunity as often as I possibly can.
Did you go banquet Coors?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I went
I thought I saw the banquet Coors.
Dang right, baby. Yeah,
do the mountains change color on that like they do on the Little Brother?
No, they sure.
Well, how do you know if it's cold, Bryce?
I drink it really quickly. And if I get a brain freeze in my lungs, then I know it's cold.
I don't know how anybody ever could tell.
You know
how their beer was cold in the past without the Blue Mountains.
You know, one thing that I've never understood, and I think I'm in the vast, vast minority here in not understanding this, and it's a huge market. Koozies. I have never needed a koozie. I have never drank my beer so slowly that it is not still frosty cold when I put it to my lips.
Most of us aren't in a race with ourselves to finish all the beer in the county. So I have a collection of koozies and I'm a koozie user.
So does Emily. Emily has like 30 different types of koozie for whatever the situation calls. Man, I'm just like,
I got like a hair from my mustache going up my nose. It's driving me nuts.
Oh man, that's a pain.
It's old man problems. I'm saying from my mustache. It's probably just a hair up my nose.
Have you had to start shaving your ears yet? Have you gotten the ear hair yet?
I get it on the outside, around the rim. I don't get them in my ear yet.
I get like one or two squirrely. Same thing as you on the outside every now and then. I'm like, no, we ain't having that, pal.
And they're always gray.
That's why I keep my beard a little bit shorter now because I got a big old white gray patch right there.
I'm embracing it. I'm down with being gray. Let's go ahead and go all the way. It's getting there. I'm down with it.
I wouldn't mind if it was like mixed in a little bit, but it's just like one little patch right there. It's weird. And you can call me Spot or I look like a Dalmatian, a reverse Dalmatian. I don't know what's going on with it, man. I wouldn't mind going like gray or white up here.
Right.
If it was mixed in, like a little salt and pepper action down here, but it's just like one spot. It's like that dead spot on a really nice green. You're like, that kind of ruins the entire green for me. Like, why is that sitting there?
Was a goose pooping on your face?
Yeah, that's what it was. It was eating my mustache and pooping on my chin right here at the same time. That's why
There's a middle picture.
Speaking of golf, not to jump ahead, but we got us a little outing next weekend or next
Friday.
Yeah,
next Friday. I'm there, baby. I'm all in, officially sanctioned.
Heard County Scramble. There's still spots open. If anybody listens to this and wants to play in it, there's still spots open, and 100% of the proceeds go straight to the football team. And
they're working out. They lifted today for the first time in their new weight room.
Oh, sweet, man. I can't wait. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get down there to see that facility this year. I'm pretty jacked up about it. Maybe I'll mosey on down there on a pregame.
I'll be there twice.
Nice. Oh yeah.
So maybe one of those 2 weeks you're off. You have 2 off weeks.
One of my off weeks I will be in South Georgia playing golf. But the other off week I will be wherever y'all want me to be doing.
You'll be with me.
Pre-halftime post.
Yeah. If we're both available, we're gonna do. So what? We get 1 week.
Yeah. Yeah.
because Villarick is making a run, baby. You're gonna have 3 off weeks.
I'm telling you,
You get 3 off weeks.
we look pretty good. Looking pretty good, man. We got a lot of weapons.
What used to be, if they can block,
yes,
if they can block, they're gonna be good.
Yeah, you'll be
but they got to block somebody.
Yeah.
That's it. You want to know the key to their season? It ain't quarterback. He can do it.
Yeah.
It ain't running back. He can really do it. They got some decent wide receivers.
Yep.
They got to block somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're going to be good on defense.
Hog's going to have to do their business. Yeah.
And if they will road grade people, if they will run block, they will make up their mind they're going to be a physically imposing football team, then the pass blocking will be easy, because if they're firing off the ball and they're blocking well offensively and Cam Bolton's doing Cam Bolton things, that's where all their attention is going to be. And Will Wallace is just going to sit back there and be fine on play action.
And you know how it is playing offensive line. If you road grade somebody through 2 quarters, I can promise you they're going to come out in that 3rd quarter not wanting to get road graded, and they're going to be trying to go east and west, and instead of north and south as a defensive line, and it makes pass blocking a lot easier when you can demoralize people. And always used to go in there. I want that guy to wake up on Saturday morning trying to rethink his life and regretting making the decision to play football. That was always my goal, is to make people regret that they decided to put on pads.
In the history of offensive linemen making people regret ever playing the game, there's a gentleman who is on my Mount Rushmore of offensive linemen.
Okay.
And we lost him this week.
Yeah.
Way too soon.
Yeah.
Larry Allen was a grizzly bear, but he had a worse anger problem than a grizzly bear. He was so much fun to watch play football. He just pounded people, just ruined their world. These are professional football players. He just put them in the dirt, had them nosediving, just ruined them. And he was like 58.
A young dude.
I hate it. I hate it. But he is on my Mount Rushmore of offensive linemen, and I haven't fully fleshed that out yet.
He's definitely on there for me too. Yeah.
Let's do it real quick. Let's just we're not going to be held to this because we need to think a little bit more, but I've never really done this.
I got 3 immediates.
I got 2 immediates.
Okay.
And I think
we probably agree.
I got Kelsey, and I've got him.
I don't know about Kelsey.
Kelsey's the best center of all time, and I was a center.
I would say yes. I'm not a center aficionado. Right. So I wouldn't say yes or no on that, but I will tell you that Travis Kelce or Jason Kelce is right there for number 4 for me.
You know what? Good clarification, because technically Travis is an offensive lineman. However, I don't even have to discuss this with you. Tight ends are not eligible for this.
No,
this is not a tight end category. They get to score touchdowns. Yeah. They get their name called out. They get the pretty girls.
Yeah. They get Taylor Swift.
They get Taylor Swift. This is about the Hogs.
Although
Trent Williams.
Given the choice between Taylor Swift and Casey Kelce, I'm taking Casey Kelce.
Yeah, Kylie.
Excuse me. Kylie. I'm taking
100%.
Taking Kylie Kelce.
100%.
Yeah. That's that's a mama.
My offensive line coach used to say, don't worry about it in high school, boys. You all are going to end up with the best looking wives, which I did. And you did too, because we're used to doing all the work, none of the credit unless things go wrong.
Offensive linemen make great husbands.
Yeah.
That should be the new motto. That should be the new motto. So Larry Allen, I think we both have him on our more. I don't have Jason Kelce on it.
Fair.
I think he's right around there. Also on my Mount Rushmore, Joe Thomas, the tackle that played forever for the Browns. One of the greatest tackles to ever do it in the NFL. I mean, he played for the Browns for like 15 years and was the only bright spot in that franchise for a very, very long time. And another guy, one of the only offensive linemen, I don't know, in the past 50 years to finish in the top 5 of the Heisman, Orlando Pace, big offensive tackle out of Ohio State, finished 2nd in the Heisman.
I'm shocked to find Orlando Pace on your list.
Yep.
The 4 greatest offensive linemen. Shocked, I say.
Played for the Rams for forever. So Joe Thomas, Orlando Pace, and Larry Allen. Those are 3 on my Mount Rushmore. That 4th spot's still open. I haven't solidified it yet.
Well, Anthony Munoz.
Yeah.
Also Ohio, dude.
Yeah, he's an Ohio folk. Yeah.
And I think he's still playing, but Trent Williams,
that's a good shout.
Trent Williams is probably the best offensive lineman to ever play.
It's a very good shout. Yeah.
Trent Williams is a freak.
Okay. Where's he at now? Is he still in? He's not in Tampa Bay anymore, is
San
he?
Fran.
He's in San Fran. That's right. That's right.
And this list can change. I think we should get like a living Excel document where we just review offensive linemen,
Fluid list,
and come back to it and look, because there's a lot of names. It's so subjective because there's not stats.
No,
Like, you just have to know ball and watch ball, and it has to be kind of something that you like. I like athletic offensive linemen.
Mhm.
Jason Peters. Like, if we're saying favorite, right? If I'm saying Mount Rushmore, and really it's kind of is your favorite, because there's probably 12 guys that could go on this list of 4 that you can't really argue with. But for me, right now, as I sit here, Jason Kelce is my favorite football player ever. Super athletic. Jason Kelce, because he is the most fundamentally sound football player I've ever seen in my life. There's no reason in the world that guy should be able to block Vince Wilfork. Aaron Donald, who is the only person who has ever even sniffed the conversation of LT being the greatest defensive player of all time. A lot of people that played against Aaron Donald have him ahead of LT. They didn't play against LT, but a lot of people, some of them have him as the best football player of all time. Aaron Donald's a freak. Legit. Jason, if you listen to him, I saw a video the other day. They're like, who do you hate playing against? And he immediately went the Eagles. Screw Kelce.
Yeah.
Like, immediately he was like, screw Jason Kelce. Aaron Donald said that. That's an endorsement for me. Plus, he wears the same flip-flops as me every day. And then I got Larry Allen, because he's just Larry Allen. Yeah. And he was fast, athletic, whatever, but that was the strongest man on earth, and he knew it and would just manhandle you. Then I got Trent Williams, and I got Jason Peters.
I like that. I
got 3. I got Larry Allen played a lot of guard, but I got 3 big tackles in the center. But they're all athletic.
Yeah, Larry
every
Allen
one
was
of them
when he was with the Cowboys.
Right. Every one of them is a sub, but he's a tackle.
Dude was benching, I don't know, like 700, something insane. And can you imagine trying to going up against that guy as he's pulling, some trap play or something? Like, what are you doing?
All 4 of those guys were sub 540 guys at the prom. All 4 of those guys were sub 540. I guarantee. I don't know that for a fact, but on the field watching them, they could. Jason Peters.
That's when people have like the biggest difference between like high school and college and NFL, like it's speed. It's 1,000,000% speed. Like, these guys obviously get stronger as they grow up, but it's just speed and quickness. Like, that is
Did the Eagles have Jason Kelce, Jason Peters, and Lane Johnson on the same line at the same time? Did Jason Peters and Lane Johnson collide there? I know that Kels played with both of them.
Yes.
But if Lane Johnson was on that line, that could be the greatest offensive line of all time. Those are 3 first ballot Hall of Famers.
They all played together. I don't think they did.
Because Lane Johnson's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah. I think there was 1 year in between Johnson and Williams, I think.
That's disgusting if they had them all. If they had all 3 of those guys, because all 3 of them are really smart, all 3 of them are athletic, all 3 of them want to beat you to death.
Why'd they have a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
I mean, that's rocket science. Like, you build
fat guys
from the line back. Like, that is just, unless you have somebody named Patrick Mahomes on your team, who is arguably one of the greatest football players I've ever seen play. If you are trying to build a team, like, look at the 49ers. They're building from fat guys back. That's how you win.
And the Chargers too. You got to do it. Then you get a guy like Mahomes and protect him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're good.
Guys, when you have Mahomes, you'll get guys that want to come there and play for Mahomes that'll take a team-friendly deal.
Well, yeah, because you're not ever going to get a sack stat.
Yeah.
If you get beat, he's fine. He got you.
Yeah. They'll be all right back there. They'll run around a little bit.
And all he's going to do is slap you on the butt and say, "Hi, big guy. Come on, you're killing me." That's it. That's all you're going to get from Mahomes. He's not going to yell at you or anything. He's too smart for that.
You got to say it in your Kermit the Frog voice, though. You got to say it in your best Kermit the Frog voice.
All
right. Well, I just got to come out there and throw
you just could do it.
I can't do Mahomes.
Hello, this is I can't do it anymore. Kermit the Frog for Sesame Street News today. I can't do it anymore.
Frog here.
Too old. So let's do this. Guys, get in the YouTube comments and tell us who your favorite 4 hogs are. Like, don't argue with us. Like, because nothing we've said is wrong.
Yeah.
But you could give us 4 different names and be right too. Like, this is a very subjective thing. Get out there, give us your offensive line Mount Rushmore, and you may change my mind. I have a hard time moving anybody off my list, but Munoz is there for me.
Yeah.
Like he's not. I don't have him on my Mount Rushmore, but Munoz is Munoz.
That's sort of how Kelsey is for me in that fourth spot. Like he's right there, man. He's right there. Like
personal preference.
Yeah,
a lot of it's personal preference.
My
but
favorite,
Munoz blocked for Ickey Woods and James Brown. Not James Brown.
The singer.
James Brooks. Warner Arms Demon.
My favorite
Super Bowl
lineman.
That was the Ickey Shuckle team.
Nick Mangold played for the Jets for a little while. Yeah, he was an Ohio State guy. Really good offensive lineman. He's not a Mount Rushmore guy, but he was. His sister was a monster. His sister was actually a better athlete than he was. That was a. Boren brothers are pretty cool, but all my favorite Ohio, they're all Buckeyes. They're
that makes sense.
Not Mount Rushmore guys, other than Orlando Pace and maybe Taylor Decker for the Detroit Lions. Like once his career is said and done, but it's still way too early to even consider him for a Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, I get it. It's a fun conversation, but this is one we should revisit.
Tell
us in the comments.
You talked about Aaron Donald being maybe the greatest defensive player ever over LT.
I didn't say that I thought he was.
Yeah. Who is your favorite defensive player to watch? Not
Lawrence Taylor.
Really? It was LT?
Yes.
Okay.
Dude, you're young.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think it's a different era.
I'm just telling you. Now, my second favorite is Luke Kuechly.
What, did he play for 2 seasons?
No, Luke Kuechly had a good career. Luke Kuechly's a Hall of Famer.
Luke Kuechly played for
look it up, jackass.
Maybe 5 or 6 seasons.
Look it up.
Maybe
either way. You didn't ask me who was the best. You asked me who my favorite to watch was, jerk. Reggie White. Reggie White would be second for me. Probably Luke Kuechly third.
I did enjoy watching Luke Kuechly. He's a guy that I forget all the time.
Ronnie Lott, the entire Ravens defense, all of them. Enjoyed watching. Just get fired up to watch him play. Ronnie Lott was death. Brian Dawkins, the Hawk. Brian Dawkins, dude.
Kuechly played 8 seasons. He played more.
Really? A shocker.
He played more. 8 seasons.
That's a long damn time to play Mike.
Yeah. Well, Ray Lewis did it for about 45 seasons.
Yeah, Ray Lewis also had 4 tractor trailers in front of him. He never got touched. And that's ask Ray. He'll tell you. That's not me saying. I don't take anything away from Ray Lewis, one of the greatest backers of all time. Top 5 greatest linebackers of all time.
In front of you.
There's always a Samoan. At least one. Sometimes they had 2.
Yeah.
Like
Ray Lewis and Ed Reed were my favorite defenders to watch when I was growing up. I love Grayson was playing safety this year, and I was playing tape of Ed Reed, and I was like, "This is how I want you to play safety."
You cannot tell your kid he has to play like Ed Reed, man.
I want you to go in there and play safety. You make those kids regret making a decision, catch that ball.
Next year, the poor kid's going to try out for quarterback. Bryce is going to be showing him Mike Vick videos. This is how I need you to play.
He played quarterback this year and hated it. He hated playing quarterback.
It's a stupid position.
Every single game, he'd be like, "Dad, do I have to play quarterback again today?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "We don't have anybody else that can remember the plays, buddy." I was like, "You're just handing the ball off. Like you're not really doing much, but nobody else can remember the plays, the snap count, or anything like that." I'm like, he's like, "I just want to go on defense and hit somebody." I'm like, that's the mindset you got to have.
I'm gonna go. All right, Mount Rushmore of favorite defensive players to watch is LT.
Okay.
Reggie White, Luke Kuechly, and what is that? The 2000 Ravens defense.
Yeah,
they're just all on there together.
Just lump it on there. I like it. I would have to go Ed Reed and Ray Lewis 1 and 2. At number 3, AJ Hawk, and at number 4, probably Darrelle Revis. I liked watching how good Darrelle Revis
played corner.
Yeah, but couldn't
see him most of the time.
Nobody played corner like he does. Like nobody was as successful as he does. Like the stuff he did at corner was just superhuman. The only other person that I've ever seen even come close to what he does at corner is Sauce Gardner. But I mean, he's only been in the league for 2 years, so it's not like he's
the best corner to ever play football was Deion Sanders. He's the best corner to ever play.
I don't think you can make that because of the era that he played in. I'm not saying that Deion Sanders couldn't come in the NFL and shut down wide receivers.
Are you saying because you could be more physical back then as a defensive back?
Yeah.
I don't know if you're aware of who Deion Sanders is. I don't give a crap if you told him they could bring a gun. He wouldn't have had one. He didn't touch anybody.
I don't know.
Deion didn't play physical football.
That's like in the NBA saying the greatest scorer of all time was Michael Jordan or Wilt Chamberlain or something like that. Like it was just a different game. But I don't know. Deion.
The fact that it was a different game and that Deion didn't play that game is even more why he's the best ever. You put Deion now, he's the highest paid football player there is because he's going to be the best corner because he never touched anybody. He wasn't jamming anybody at the line.
I don't know.
He was, in fact, he was intentionally playing off of them, hoping they'd throw the ball over there because they never threw the ball his way. Ever.
That was like Darrell.
Rule number 1, don't throw to 21 side.
They said that Peyton Manning said that when Darrelle Revis played for the Jets. He said essentially whatever side Darrelle Revis was on, we just wouldn't draw up any plays to that side. He was like, if Revis was playing over, on our wide receiver 1, we just had no plays going to our wide receiver 1. Everything was going to slot 3 or a check down. He's like, that would just be marked off. Like we wouldn't even consider throwing to that side. Like, what a compliment.
Deion's number 1.
Man, I can't put him there. I would put Darrelle Revis there. He's my number 1.
I get it. I respect your opinion, but it's a terrible one.
Well, once again, it's who you watch. Like Deion Sanders was just a little bit before my prime time, no pun intended.
No. He just that's just what you call things now.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, I mean, he's Kleenex, dude.
You call it.
You just use him in a sentence describing Darrelle Revis.
Well, no, prime time was.
That's him. That's Deion.
Prime time was boxing. That came out way before.
That's different kind of prime time.
Yeah.
My mama hated Deion.
Speaking of,
my mama hated Deion.
Who's your favorite boxer to watch? Do you ever really get into boxing?
I was a Mike Tyson dude, guy.
Tyson.
Come on, you got to think of how old I am.
Tyson was pretty good.
I was like 10 years old, Mike Tyson. Like it's Mike and only Mike. Everybody in my generation.
It got me thinking because Tyson Fury had his first loss ever in his career this couple weekends ago.
I didn't know. I wish you hadn't told me that. I didn't know he had lost a fight.
Yep, lost.
Big fan of his.
Dude, that guy is. Have you ever watched his documentary?
I like Tyson Fury a lot.
It's a good documentary, man. Seeing behind the scenes what he struggles with mental health and how he goes about it. And
who did he lose to?
Alexander Usyk. And it was I didn't watch the fight because
was it a hockey fight?
It was a Ukrainian dude. It came on at 12:30 our time because it was over in like I don't know Mumbai or something like that. I'm like we were in the middle of a baseball game. I'm like I'll figure it out when we get home. I haven't rewatched the fight, but I heard it was pretty close. It was close. They're supposed to do a rematch.
I wonder if there is a study somewhere that's done where somebody has figured out whether or not Mike Tyson is the reason HBO is a thing. When I was a kid, HBO went off at 10 o'clock at night or something.
Yeah.
Like it just went off the air.
Yeah.
But then Mike Tyson fought on HBO. We had HBO at our house for Mike Tyson. And my family's not a sports family. My mom would watch Mike Tyson.
Just because it was that big of a cultural phenomenon.
Dude, it's like it was like a superhero that get like a super villain, when they've got them in like the Avengers and they're all tied up and they break free and then it's just chaos.
Yeah.
That's a Mike Tyson fight in his prime.
Tyson had the same effect on boxing that like Michael Jordan had on basketball or Tom Brady had on football. Like people would tune in.
I don't know though. I don't know because before Tom Brady, you had, and I'm not saying that before Tyson, you didn't have fighters. Obviously, you got a bunch.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a mainstream really sport as mainstream. But before Brady, you had Montana, and who'd you say before? Jordan. Before Jordan, you had Bird and like right before him, you had Bird and Magic, like right there. So Tyson, I'm telling you, dude, Mike Tyson changed the world. Mike Tyson changed
we brought this topic up on TM5. This was months ago. I think it was last year about who the most influential sporting
Tiger Woods
figure.
It's Tiger Woods.
That's I was thinking Tiger, and then the only other one that I could come up with was I came up with a couple. So Tiger, we came up with Tiger. We didn't rank them. We just came up with some. Tiger was up there. Kobe Bryant was up there.
Nope.
Michael Schumacher.
No.
I mean, you gotta think about the reach.
the word influential.
Yeah.
Who did Michael Schumacher make rich?
Millions of people at Ferrari.
There's not millions of people working at Ferrari.
Yeah, the Ferrari.
There are not millions of people working at Ferrari.
Oh,
look up how many employees does Ferrari have? Ferrari, Bryce.
Yeah, they have stuff everywhere. Let's see.
I can see your failure in the reflection of your sunglasses.
This is only giving me their racing team. Wonder how you can figure out how, like, worldwide.
If they've got 100,000 employees, I'll be shocked.
This says 5,000, but this is just their racing team.
Yeah, and that's going to be the most well-staffed thing they have.
160.
They don't even have a clutch department. They got the worst clutches in the history of cars.
Well, their cars are overpriced pieces of crap. But
yeah,
their Formula One team. It just because think Tiger was massive, but I mean
Michael Schumacher. Don't leave Schumacher for this argument.
Yeah.
Yes, you're a fan of Schumacher, right? You watch, do whatever. You're not going to buy a Ferrari, Bryce. You can't. But you could go to the golf course. You can wear a red shirt. You can play from the blues. Well, you're not supposed to be because you suck.
Can't buy Nike stuff anymore.
Right. Like Tiger Woods is the single most influential sporting person since Babe Ruth.
But what do you say every time you shoot a balled up piece of paper into a trash can?
Kobe, and I love Kobe.
Yeah,
Kobe was like sandwiched between Bird and LeBron and Shaq,
Bird
and the no name whatever Spurs. Like I love Kobe, and Kobe is one of the greatest basketball players of all time, but he's not in my top three.
Oh man,
because he had bad timing.
Definitely top three.
And he had bad teams around him.
You can't go to China and ask anybody who Larry Bird or Magic Johnson is. They don't know. They won't know. They'll know who Kobe Bryant is.
What about Tiger Woods?
They'll probably know who Tiger Woods is. Yeah, I would assume
because in China and Japan they don't really care about basketball too much.
Shit.
But golf.
Whoa, you kidding me? Basketball in Japan and China? It's the second biggest sport.
What's first?
Baseball.
Baseball's first, golf second in Japan. I'm going golf second in Japan, not basketball.
Actually, it might be soccer now in Japan. I don't know.
I mean, I don't want to be racist here, but me and you have a limitation when it comes to basketball.
Yeah.
The Japanese have even more one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay? Like the thing's 10 foot high. In golf, it don't matter. You just play. I'm telling you, dude, that's a golfing society.
I don't know. Japan.
Tiger Day Woods
might be third. Japan.
Tiger Day Woods.
But Japan golf might be third.
What's the number one sport in Australia?
Is it Australian rules football?
No.
Is it rugby?
Nope.
Basketball?
Nope.
What is it?
Swimming.
Swimming, really? I guess that makes sense.
I may have just made that up, but it's in my brain for some reason.
I definitely would have thought it was Australian rules football, which is awesome, by the way. First time I ever watched it like a month ago. Dude, that is amazing.
Yeah. It's cooler rugby.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's cooler rugby.
And rugby's all the way cool.
Rugby's pretty awesome. New Zealand's the hotbed for rugby. And Wales.
We're going to talk about rugby here in a minute. Put a pin in it.
Oh, all right. Wales has a really good rugby
when I lose my mind. I played rugby for 2 days.
Really? Dude.
I realized I was going to die. I realized that I did not have the mental capacity for the game. And by that, I mean, I did not have the what do you call it when they put it on your car to slow you down? You can't go higher than a certain speed.
Governor?
I didn't have the governor for it. I did. You have to have a governor to play rugby or you'll die.
Yeah.
I didn't have it. I played it like I had pads on. And I loved every second of it. After 2 days, I went, I'm going to die. I can't do this. I'm going to die.
It's not a longevity thing right there.
No. So, but respect. The rugby, there's a rugby house, like a fraternity house. There's a rugby house at Georgia Southern.
Uh-huh.
And when they'd have a party every other weekend, there would be a ambulance that parked in the front yard, just waiting.
Lord.
They'd go ahead and just call the paramedics, but I'd just go ahead and be here.
Just get ready. Those guys are
crazy people
out of marble, man. They look like Like the statue of David, that's what like almost every single rugby player looks like.
Just mean and want to fight. They
Yeah.
just want to fight all the
Yeah.
time.
All right.
Synchronized swallow there.
Well, yeah, we paired that up pretty nicely. All right, you told me you had one big rant. What is the big rant?
I have seen today that there are a lot of people in America shocked. I say shocked to look at the list that has been released of the people who are eligible for this year's College Football Hall of Fame inductions. And Mike Leach's name is not on there. And people are going, what do you mean the great Mike Leach isn't on this list? How can the great late Mike Leach not be on this list? Folks, it's time we have a listen to Uncle Casey. It's time to have a serious conversation. I need to break you into something. Sit down. Put down any glassware you may have. The sooner you understand that the College Football Hall of Fame is run by a bunch of freaking idiots, the better off you're going to be. You don't have to lose your hair like I have. You don't have to stay up late at night tossing and turning like I have. Mike Leach has a 59.6 winning percentage as a head football coach. One of their requirements is that you have to have a 60% winning percentage. He is 0.4 of a point on a winning percentage of a 22-year coaching career away from being a Hall of Fame football coach. Now, is that the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard, folks? It very well may be. Mike Leach is a freaking stud. Mike Leach invented a whole new brand of football. He just made it up. Him and Hal Mummy went down to, I guess they started at Iowa Wesleyan. Yeah, Iowa Wesleyan.
Ohio Wesleyan. I know what you're talking about.
Ohio Wesleyan. Started there, and then they went to Valdosta State. And Valdosta State, at that point, had never made the playoffs in the history of the school. In 3 years, they won 11 games. Now, they got this cat named Chris Hatcher that helped a lot, who came in and won the Harlan Hill Award, which is the Division II Heisman, and ended up being the head coach later. Talked to Rooster about that. But I'm a big Chris Hatcher fan. Him and Hal Mummy invented the air raid offense. He goes to Texas freaking Tech and wins. Texas Tech. He was the Big 12 Coach of the Year. He was the Big 12 Coach of the Year.
He made Michael Crabtree look like an NFL player.
He had a winning record. He had a winning record at Mississippi State and didn't believe in running the football. Now, me and Mike Leach do not see eye to eye on offense. I believe you should run the ball as much as he throws it, right?
Agreed.
I'm not sure he even had running backs. Like, I know he didn't have a tight end. There was never a fullback on a Mike Leach team. There was no tight ends.
There was no fullback scholarship players.
But I respect the hell out of Mike Leach. Mike Leach, if you ask any football coach, they will, every one of them to a team will say, absolutely, Mike Leach belongs in the College Football Hall of Fame. Sure. And that's my biggest issue with this, is that there's no one's opinion matters to football coaches other than other football coaches. And it should be nobody else's opinion that decides who goes into the College Football Hall of Fame as a coach, except for other football coaches who are in the Hall of Fame or will be. That's the only people that should matter. Makes sense. If you ask them, every one of them is going to put Mike Leach in. Not because he just died, not because he was the best interview in the history of the world, not because every one of them loved him, but because he was a great football coach. He was insane. He tried new things. He made up stuff. Just his thing was your read. You know what his read progression was at Washington State?
What's that?
Throw it to the guy that's open. That was it. He coached like it was a video game. Just run there, and it all made sense. There's another gentleman who is not in the College Football Hall of Fame, and this is hold on, wait.
Well, I was trying to figure out what who the people are that vote in the College Football Hall of Fame.
Idiots.
Yeah.
They're idiots. And here's the most glaring one. Mike Leach, you can argue if you're a championship guy, like you're like championships what matters, right? Mike Leach never won anything. He never won a conference title. He won his division twice. I think he won his division once at Tech.
Yeah.
And then once at Washington State, and then lost in the championship game if they had championship games. I don't know. I think he won his division twice. Maybe. But he never won a championship at all. He had a losing bowl record. He was 8-9 in bowl games.
Yep.
But you can't make that argument about Erkston Russell. You cannot make that argument about Irk Russell. Irk Russell falls into the same exact situation, but a different requirement. Irk had no problem with the 60% win percentage because his was 82.5.
It's pretty good.
You think? 82.5.
It's all
the
right.
dude lost 14 football games. Period. That's how many he lost. None of them were blowouts. None of them were blowouts. He was officially an NCAA head football coach for 6 years. Okay?
All right.
In 6 years, he won 3 national championships.
That's
one
absurd.
of them was 15-0. The only one. At that time, there was not another 15-0 season. He was the one. 15-0 national championship. And then retired, knowing good and well that everybody was back the next year. Guess what they did the next year? They won another one with his offensive coordinator as the head coach. He would have won 4 in 7 years. But he stepped away. Now, technically, he was the head coach of the Georgia Southern Eagles for 8 years. The requirement is you have to be a head coach for 10. Now, real quick, Bryce.
Gotcha. All right.
I'm just getting wound up.
Okay.
We're just, if you guys want to skip ahead about 10 minutes, if you don't want to hear this, you can. But I need to preach. Like it's my birthday, and this is what I want to talk about.
Okay.
Look behind me. This is almost a religion for me. Okay. You all know me as a football guy, right?
Right.
The first time I saw this guy, I was a soccer and a baseball guy. When I laid my eyes on him, I dropped it all. 5 years old. 5 years old. I was done. First time I ever talked back to my father, one of the only times, period, was during the 1985 National Championship game when Georgia Southern was getting the doors blown off of them by Furman at halftime. And they wanted to turn the channel. And I said, that's not happening. Tracy Ham's playing football. Coach Russell. I was 6 years old. I stood right there, and then everybody else kind of dispersed and went elsewhere, and then they drifted back into the fourth quarter and went, whoa, what's going on? And I'm going, Tracy Ham, baby. Prancing around like this. Tracy Ham, baby. Anyway, that's my life. Look, old school logo. This is what we do. Tell me, if you will, are there any coaches in the College Football Hall of Fame that maybe didn't coach for 10 years?
Yes, there are 4.
Oh, yeah. How many years did they coach for?
George Little coached 9. Walter Camp.
That's too little.
Walter Camp.
Heard of him?
8.
Okay. Same as Coach Russell.
Tad Wyman coached 6.
Tad only coached 6, same as Coach Russell officially, because his first 2 years weren't official.
I'll even give you one further. This Tad Wyman guy that coached 6 years, you know what his winning percentage was?
What was it?
54%.
Oh, he coached 6 years and won half his games.
Yep. He was 29-24 over 6.
Why did he get in?
Hell if I know. I don't know who this guy is.
His daddy wrote a big check.
So I automatically don't think he should be in.
All right, and who's the 4th one?
Edward K. Hall.
How many seasons did Edward K. Hall coach in college football? 2.
2.
1, 2.
1, 2.
Hall of Fame coach.
2 seasons.
Now, here's the thing about Coach Russell is Erskine Russell should be in the Hall of Fame if he was never a head coach. Ever. Would you like me? Can I go to the glasses, as Tony would say?
Yeah, I don't know who this Tad Wyman guy is. He looks like an asshole.
All right. Let's see. What do I want to talk about? During 17 years, I'm reading this because I'm not as familiar with his unimportant Georgia stats as I am as Georgia Southern stats. I know those off the top of my head. During the 17 years that Irk served as the defensive coordinator for the Georgia Bulldogs, 17 years, they played 192 games. That for 192 games, that was his defense, the Junkyard Dogs. In 135 of 109, are you listening to me?
Mm-hmm.
In 135 of 192 games, his defense gave up less than 17 points. I'm going to say that one more time. In 135 of 192 games at the University of Georgia.
They play pretty good people.
Pretty solid schedule.
Yeah.
17 or fewer points 135 times. And 74 of those were single digits.
Jeez, dude.
27 shutouts.
That is absurd.
James Brown wrote a song about the Junkyard Dogs and performed it. They were his Junkyard Dogs.
I'm just looking up some of these games that Georgia was playing.
Georgia Bulldog fans get it too. Like Georgia Bulldog fans and Georgia Southern fans adore this man. We both have the GATA. But Art Russell coined big team little me. Everybody in the country knows what big team little me is. Doesn't matter the sport. Everybody knows what big team little me is. That's his. He made that up. The Red Coat Band at Georgia, on a big defensive play, they will still play Bad Leroy Brown. That was Coach Russell. Coach Russell went to the band director and said, when we make a big play, will you play Bad Leroy Brown, baddest man in the whole damn town?
Does Georgia's band play when they're on offense and have like a really crucial 3rd and long?
Bom, 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 bom. I don't know when that's for, but they play that at some point, and I like that. I don't know what that's
3rd down
for, but that it gives gravity to the situation.
It gives like an ominous feel to
the Red Coat Band's no joke. Like
good, dude.
Big fan. Yeah. Anyway, Coach Russell is supposed to get the Georgia job because Auburn threw a bunch of money at him. Now, by the way, Auburn, Coach Russell was a 4-sport letterman at Auburn.
I didn't know he went to Auburn.
Yes, he lettered him and Dooley both. He lettered in 4 sports. Apparently, he hit a home run into a train that's still going. Longest home run in history. You got to get Richard to tell that story. But he was also the varsity baseball coach at Auburn for 2 or 3 years at some point, which
I didn't know that.
In my opinion, should count towards his total years of coaching.
Right. Yeah.
But do you know, Bryce, that he also has 6 other years of head coaching experience in football?
Where?
Grady High School.
He coached at Grady?
He won a state championship at Grady.
I didn't know that.
He came into Grady in his 2nd year taking over, won a state championship against Lanier basically at Lanier. They're in Macon, in front of 10,000 people in the rain when he was a 2-touchdown dog.
I didn't know he coached at Grady.
6 years.
Was that
towards thing for 6 years?
Was that towards like the latter part of his career? Was that
that was the beginning.
What? I did not know that.
He went from there to Auburn. And then never left college,
dude.
He coached it. Yeah, he started it. He went from Lanier to, I don't know if he started at Grady.
Yeah.
But he was at Grady, won a state championship, 1953 state championship.
I didn't know Grady High School was that old.
GHSA Coach of the Year, Art Russell.
Is he in the Georgia high school football?
He's in every Hall of Fame.
But
he's in the Georgia, Florida. He's in the Georgia, Florida Hall of Fame. He's in the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. He's in the Georgia Hall of Fame. He is in the Atlanta Touchdown Club Hall of Fame. He is in every single Hall of Fame except the College Football Hall of Fame because the rest of them aren't idiots. He left the University of Georgia, where his team held 135 opponents to under 17 points for 17 years. And he went to a place that hadn't played football in 40 years. You know why we have everybody either loves or hates our uniforms? Because they're so simple.
Right.
And they're like, well, why do they have? Do you want to know why?
What's that?
In 1985, when we won a national championship, maybe it was 84.
Yeah.
Definitely in 84, maybe still in 85, but definitely in 84. Our game pants were our practice pants. They had a solid blue helmet. He gave everybody a roll of tape and said, put a stripe down the middle. Athletic tape.
Yeah.
He bought school buses from the Bullitt County school system for $1 a piece. We still ride to the game in yellow cheeses, still to this day. He convinced the world in South Georgia that this little sewage ditch full of nothing but mosquitoes that stunk had magical waters that would bring you national championships and called it Beautiful Eagle Creek. Here's what's even better. Even when I was in school there, Eagle Creek wasn't beautiful. Now it is. It's self-fulfilling. It's gorgeous. There's a bridge and it's beautiful. Don't spend too much time in it, but it's beautiful. There's never been someone who played for Irk Russell who didn't love Irk Russell. There's never been a coach that you could talk that won't sit. I'm telling you right now, Nick Saban would sit for an hour and listen to Irk Russell stories and not say a word. He started a program from the dirt. From the dirt. Somehow convinced Tracy Ham to come play football for him. And went around giving the same speech, raising money, had a little trailer that he operated out of, a little construction trailer. You've seen him.
Yeah.
That was his coach's office, a little construction trailer. And turned it into an absolute stone cold powerhouse. He built a tradition that is as strong as any tradition in college football. There's a lot less of us that are Georgia Southern folks, but the ones of us are, you know me, I'm as big a Georgia Southern fan as you are an Ohio State fan, brother. Like I'll die. Like it's, I struggled after Coach Johnson left, right? Like I was dying, and then we had some rough years in there, and part of it was because they fired Rusty Russell, and when they fired Rusty, I left with Coach Russell. I said I'll pull for the dogs.
Ugh.
But then, I was born a Georgia Bulldog fan. I chose the Georgia Southern Eagle.
Ugh.
That's the way it works. I said, I'll pull for the dogs, whatever. I got David Pollock. That's fun. But then I won't go into the long history of it, but then things corrected themselves and I came back and then we had Davis Brennan quarterback, but I don't want to get on that. It's my birthday. I want to talk about it. But Coach Russell is as deserving of any human being on earth as being in this Hall of Fame. And my biggest argument is this. I really believe that if Nick Saban, and I'm hoping that Mike Leach is the one that gives birth to this, because here's the thing about these rules. They weren't created by Congress. You don't need a 2/3 majority vote to have amendments to
Just have
it.
one guy. Just have one guy say, hey, this is BS.
They made it. They made the rules. It's their rules, and they don't follow them. Like we've seen that they don't follow their rules. They've got a dude who coached 2 seasons in the Hall of Fame. Just change the stinking rules. And if it's Mike Leach that gets Nick Saban and Kirby Smart together in front of a microphone and say, these rules are dumb, guys, because I guarantee you both of them know Coach Russell's not in there and want him to be in there. Definitely Kirby.
If
Definitely Kirby.
Nick Saban says it, it'll happen.
It'll happen. If the two of them, because they're the only opinion that matters is football coaches. Mike Leach deserves to be in. And my thing that I've been laughing about all day is if Mike Leach being omitted from this list is what gets Irk Russell in, it'll be the funniest thing in the history of the world. The guy who just wanted to run the ball, play defense, be low, and score one more point than you. The guy who literally said, if we never give up a point, we'll never lose. That was his. Like, it doesn't matter what happens with our offense. As long as we don't give up any points, we can't lose. Versus Mike Leach, who I don't think had a defense on 3 of his teams. I don't think they even put anybody out there. I think they just were like, all right, punt team, go out there and try to make something happen. Like, if Air Raid and Georgia Southern trip option come together to right these 2 wrongs, it will be hilarious. And I can see right now Coach Leach and Coach Russell in heaven having a cigar together, telling each other stories, because I guarantee you they'll both make each other laugh so hard. They're so opposite of each other. They'll both get a kick out of each other, and they're arguing about passing versus running. It just would make me happy. But every year I get fired up about this, and I can't really put my thoughts together. I'm so mad because Coach Leach, I love Mike Leach too. Like, it's just stupid. And there's people that are alive. There are people that are alive. These 2 aren't, but their families are.
Oh, yeah.
And it means something to them for them to be recognized. His kids and wife.
Like anybody who's played for him or come into contact with him or family, like anybody who has any connection to either one of these coaches, like it would mean a lot to them to see not only the hard work that the coaches put in, but the hard work that the players put in every time that they played or practiced under him. Like that would be big for his players.
Coach Russell has his children, his grandchildren, his great-grandchildren all alive who would appreciate it. But there are tens of thousands of people who consider him daddy. like who literally he is the father
Like
that they may never
Josh
had.
Prost or
Different kind of daddy.
different daddy. My bad.
Yeah, no. Their wives know about Coach Russell. Yeah,
That's good.
it's not a secret. It's not.
I
There's
hope
no
the
secret in
podcast
South
doesn't make it
Georgia
out
how
of
we
Tell
feel
City.
about. Yeah, there's no secret in South Georgia how we feel about the bald man, and it's deserved. And so, anyway, put Irk Russell in the Hall of Fame, you cowards, and Mike Leach with him. But I think Mike Leach is going to be the one that makes this flip.
Mike Leach, yeah, I think he will get put in somehow, and once he gets put in, I think that's going to open up the conversation to a much bigger picture and an opportunity to coaches, especially when you look at the entire coaching, portfolio of what Irk had. Like, I don't know how you keep him out. But this year's class for coaches is pretty good, man. Urban Meyer is in this year's class.
Goes in immediately.
Tommy Tuberville,
No.
yeah,
Who was holding up generals getting their positions and different people in the military getting promoted.
sort of what I was thinking. Like, I saw Tommy Tuberville on there. I was like, I don't know about that.
He's not even that good a coach.
That's what I was thinking.
Look up Tuberville's stats. If Tuberville goes in before Irk Russell, I will lose my ever loving mind.
Let's see what Tommy Tuberville.
Hey, listen. You got to whisper. He'll hear you from here. I freaking can't stand Tommy Tuberville. He's such an idiot piece of crap.
Let's see what his coaching. Okay. That's an interesting picture on Wikipedia. He was 159 and 99.
What's that win percentage?
I don't know. Not great. I mean, what, like low 70s, high 60s, maybe like a 66%.
62.
Ooh, that was close.
2% over.
Yeah, like
Tommy Tuberville is 2.5 points higher than Mike Leach.
7-6 in bowl games. One game over 500.
One game over 500. Mike Leach is one game under 500, but played more.
He won. I think the thing that's saving Tommy Tuberville is that 04 season, like where he he was coach of the year, won the SEC, like won everything in 04. Like I think that was.
Was that Cadillac Williams and
who was the other guy on that team?
Brown from Cartersville, Ronnie Brown.
Yeah.
He's the best two running backs in the country back when they still ran the football. So you're saying his 62% win percentage and one national championship is probably enough to get him in the Hall of Fame. But the 6 national championships and 82.5% winning percentage out of Irk Russell isn't good enough?
I don't think
what
Tommy
you're saying?
Tuberville makes it.
He better not. He's going to light his ballot on fire. Urban Meyer, who was a slime ball, disgusting, whatever, he's in.
Yeah.
It's not a popularity contest. Duke and coach ball.
Yeah. Larry Coker, he's a candidate this year.
I don't know enough about Coker's whole history. I mean, I know he won the national championship in Miami, but
he did, but that wasn't his team. Like
that was Jimmy Johnson's team, right?
Yeah. And from everything that I've heard, Coker didn't do anything.
Yeah.
He was just sort of a headpiece, and then he lost Ohio State in 02. But then
that's the team though that's considered by some the greatest team of all time. Is that
the 01? The 01 team. The 01. I have said the 2 greatest college football teams of all time, in my opinion, and LSU a couple years ago might have.
Joe Burrow, LSU's up there.
They were good. They were insanely good.
Yeah.
But the greatest college football teams that I have ever seen were the 01 Miami Hurricanes. I don't remember what their winning margin was, but it was like 34. It was something stupid.
There's like 7 Hall of Famers on that team.
Yeah. NFL Hall of Famers.
Right. Yeah. Not this stupid one we're talking about.
Not this one. NFL Hall of Famers. Either the 01 Miami team or the 1995, or was it 95 or 98? That Nebraska
team.
Yeah.
Really?
Was it 90?
Oh, Bryce. 95.
Yeah, the 95 Nebraska team. Yeah. Those were
Tommy Frazier.
Yeah. Those are the 2 greatest college football teams I've ever seen.
My neck roll in high school.
Yeah.
Like Uncle Don posted a picture of me today with no neck roll. That's my sophomore year. I know when that picture was taken. My neck roll, because we had Coach Davis had a relationship with Tom Osborne, and Nebraska would send us boxes of stuff.
Oh,
and then we had different color red. Theirs was that bright red, and ours is same as crimson. It's just we look just like when Warner Robins and Northside play. If you're from the press box, it looks like Alabama Auburn. Looks exactly like it. I mean, the color schemes are exactly the same. But I got a neck roll with a big N on it from the 95 team. My neck roll.
Cool.
I don't know whose it was, but it was a Nebraska neck roll, and it was huge, and I couldn't move my head. But I felt
the 95 Nebraska team, I think, has to be considered one of the greatest of all times.
I agree.
It's 95 Nebraska. It's 01 Miami. It's I don't know, what was it, 17 LSU? Whatever that last year that Joe Burr was at LSU, and then probably Georgia's first national championship. Not 80, but 2 years ago, 2022. Like those teams were insanely good. Like
I think that the Georgia team that didn't win it, you got to remember Sony Michel, Nick Chubb didn't win it.
Yeah, they were pretty good. They're pretty good.
Georgia's had some teams that just for whatever reason stepped on themselves and didn't get to the finish line that were probably better than the ones that have won.
Well,
they won back to back, but
I can tell you the greatest Ohio State team I've ever seen got mollywopped by Florida in the national championship. The 2006 Ohio State team, it's the greatest Ohio State team I've ever seen. And we didn't win. We got embarrassed in the national championship. And we have the 02 and the 2014. I don't know, whenever the hell we won.
So we've got Urban Coker, and Tuberville. See ya.
I can't put Tuberville in.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'll burn the house down if they put Tuberville in.
Larry Coker's not in. There's other guys up here. I've never even heard of these guys. You might have.
Here's what I don't get. How is the state of Alabama voting for a football coach every year that had a 62% win percentage? I thought they cared about winning over there at the inferior state school, at the secondary school. He only won 62% of his games. Good grief. Anyway, I hate Tommy Tuberville. He's a slime ball. Read stories about him coaching.
Yeah.
He did kids wrong.
Massive a-hole.
He did kids wrong. He is a terrible human being.
Larry Blackney, he coached at Troy for a long time from 91 to 2014. Jim Carlin, Pete Carthen, Ralph.
Ralph's
Rankin.
my nickname.
I don't even know who that is. Daryl Rogers, and that's it. That's it for coaches. But I don't
know any of those guys. I vote for Ralph though, because Ralph was my offensive line nickname.
Ralph.
We were playing the spring game.
Automatically get in. I was just going to say, in my opinion, Nick Saban's the greatest college football coach of all time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does anybody have a different opinion?
I don't know how you could. I think the only person right now that even has a chance to beat him is Nick Saban, because
Nick Saban's going to beat Nick Saban.
Nick Saban. Kirby. Thank you.
You got a long way to go.
Because of how tough college football recruiting and keeping a team together and consistency is going to be in the 10 to 15 years that come. If Kirby Smart can keep it rolling up in Athens, like, he has to be considered with Nick Saban, even if he doesn't have the on the field success. Like, I don't know how you coach college football anymore, to be honest with you, man. I don't know how you do it.
Can we revisit real quick? I just can't get over this. You just said that. I just had a thought.
Yeah.
That means that everybody's top 3 list, in my opinion, is the top 2 list of greatest college football coaches not named Irk Russell, because he's my number 2 behind Nick Saban. But I'm going to leave him off this because nobody believes. That's fine. That's obviously nothing.
Greatest college football coach
Bear Bryant.
Hall of Fame right now.
You got Bear Bryant, and then you got Nick Saban. Both Alabama football coaches, both historic, both won everything. And the state of Alabama votes for big-eared Tommy Tuberville at 62%.
Do you put Bear Bryant over Joe Paterno?
Yeah, I don't know that he ever signed. Joe Pa's dead to me.
Man,
I don't mess with kids getting diddled in the shower. Joe Pa's dead. I get it. He was everybody's cute uncle. He knew. He looked the other way. Kids got molested on his watch and continued to get molested on his watch, and he did nothing.
Yeah.
Joe Pa's dead to me.
What about Bobby Bowden?
I love me some Bobby Bowden, but he's not in the top 2.
I think that'd be a good
argument. Put him over Bear Bryant. Now, Bear Bryant had the advantage of being able to sign everybody.
That's very true.
He would have his practice squad team was probably the 3rd best team in the country.
I mean, Bobby Bowden went like 10 years where he wasn't ranked outside the top 3 or 4 or something.
And couldn't find a kicker. Same thing with Will Hall at University of West Georgia. If Will Hall would if Will Hall had a kicker at UWG, he's got 2 national championships. If Bobby Bowden had a kicker at Florida State, he may have 5.
Yeah.
But he couldn't get past Miami.
I think Bobby needs to be in the conversation. I think Nick is one. I don't think there should be any discussion about that. I think Nick is one.
I definitely have Bobby ahead of Paterno.
Yeah.
I got probably got Bobby at 3 behind Bear Bryant.
2 guys that don't get as much appreciation as I think they deserve from, I don't want to say hardcore college football fans, but maybe just the casual fan. Matt Brown and Frank Beamer. I don't feel like those guys get appreciated as much as they should get appreciated for what they did.
Frank Beamer won
Beamer
at Virginia Tech.
Yeah, Beamer ball. Like there is a
Matt Brown won at Texas.
It's a little different.
They're not equal.
That's true. He's won at UNC though.
Yeah, but he hadn't won.
Good job at UNC. He's not done what he has at Texas, but it's
the ACC, dude.
But UNC is no longer a doorstep. Like it's not one of those things that you just UNC win. It's not one of those things you pencil in anymore.
No, it's true. But he's a really good football coach. But Mac Brown does not belong in this conversation. Beamer is a fun pick for this conversation that I have no issue with.
Not top 2. Not top. No, I'm just talking about 10. Guys who probably exactly. That
Tom Osborne.
Oh, Osborne was awesome. I loved Tom Osborne. Like I said, 95 Nebraska, one of the greatest teams I've ever seen play baseball, play football.
I'm thinking hard. Woody.
He had a mean right hook.
Who else?
Top
10 belongs in the top 10 list.
Would you put Lou Holtz up there? Would Lou? You think Lou deserves to be up there?
Yeah, I hate Lou Holtz, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I had no issue with Lou Holtz until he got on ESPN, and then I got serious Lou Holtz issues.
What about Super Steve? Would you put Super Steve up there?
1,000%. 1,000%.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Coach Spurrier.
I tell you,
and I'm a Georgia boy who does not have Vince Dooley anywhere around this list.
Bo Schembechler?
Possibly. I have to look at his stats. I don't know.
Another guy, I don't know if this is homerism, top 10. Jim Tressel might need to be considered for it.
Yeah, except for the fact that the Georgia Southern Eagles stepped off in his ass.
That's all right. He won 4 national championships at Youngstown State?
Never beat us for one.
4, I think. 4. He was I think it was 5-2 in national championship games in his career. I think he won 4 with
and got one of the most famous plays in the history of the world on him. The run, Adrian Peterson's The Run happened in that national championship game against Youngstown. It's the most embarrassing thing and here's the thing about it. That's how you know that's a great play. Like it's been played 1,000,000 times. Adrian doesn't score.
Yeah.
It's not a touchdown. He gets down like the 3. I was there. It looks better on film. In person, it was like, holy cow, that's amazing.
What about Vince Dooley? You think he
no
top 10? No,
because if he didn't have the guy we were just talking about for 17 years, nobody would have known who Vince Dooley was.
Yeah, you might be right.
Nobody would have known who Vince Dooley was. Sorry.
What about Big Game Bob out of Oklahoma?
Stoopsy?
Yeah,
big fan of Stoops. Big fan of Stoops.
I like Bob Stoops.
Big fan of Bob Stoops.
That guy had like an 80% winning percentage or something, just absurd. Something nuts.
Love Bob Stoops.
Yeah, I like Bob Stoops. Yeah. All right, what's your happy thing this week, man?
Do you not have a rant at all? Did I just take all your time?
No, I had a very small thing that we'll save for another podcast. It's not terribly interesting.
I was gonna do real quick. Where are we at on time? You're rapping me.
A little over an hour.
Let me look real quick. I can do that next week. Yeah. I'll say this before I do my happy thing. Josh Barlow, who you've not had the honor of meeting, but you will one day.
Yeah. I met. Didn't he come to the wrestling thing at Heard County? Him and his kid.
Yes.
Wasn't that Josh Barlow? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I've met him very briefly, but yes, I've met Barlow.
Barlow's one of my oldest and dearest friends. Me and Barlow have been friends since 6th grade. In fact, we were like, we went to different high schools together. We were rivals. We were rivals, but we've become really close over the last 15, 20 years.
Right.
He is in Hawaii right now.
Ooh.
He has a gimmick. He travels for work a lot. He works for a military contractor. And he has a gimmick. And his gimmick is he loves going to football stadiums
Oh, cool.
and sneaking in. And so I get all these pictures from, Air Force on the field. Me and him went to Georgia Southern, West Virginia to the game.
Right.
And we got our eyes beat out. So much fun, though. And I'm standing there with my boy Kevin, and I look down and he's on the field. Like game was happening. Like he just goes. So he's in Hawaii.
Okay.
This fool lands in Hawaii, gets his truck, drives straight to the Aloha Bowl, sends me a picture. And he's like, I don't think they play here anymore. This place looks run down. He's like, all the locks are rusted. Then I get a picture from the press box.
Oh my God.
Then he sends me a video of him on a golf cart with some lady who picked him up in the stadium and drove him back to his car while telling him how sad she was about he got caught and they gave him a ride. 30 minutes later, he sends me a picture from inside the Hawaii new stadium on the campus of University of Hawaii. He went 2 for 2 in Honolulu.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, my happy thing is easy. This is my birthday card I just got.
All right. Who from?
It's got my family. Oh. It's got my present. Now, my Uncle Don gave me an awesome one, too. He always gives me a $2 bill for 40 plus years. I get $2.
The most Uncle Don thing ever. That's the most Uncle Don thing ever.
And he put a speech bubble coming out of Jefferson's mouth that says, what's up, homie?
Oh my God.
For those of y'all listening on Spotify or wherever you may get your podcast, it is the she in my card, my wife and my daughter have inserted the receipt for EA Sports College Football 25.
It's the greatest gift ever.
It's the best gift of all time.
That's
my happy thing.
40 days from today, I think, is when it releases. 40 days from today, I believe. I don't know.
I'm taking my PlayStation to the beach because we're going to the beach like pretty soon around there. Taking the PlayStation to the beach.
Did I tell you that I thought it was going to work out perfectly, that my wife was going to be on vacation?
Yeah.
It came out. It is not going to line up perfectly. She is getting back the day it releases.
What a nerd.
I know. It's awful. I'm going to have to ignore her for 2 days.
So what's your happy thing? I've taken this whole episode. I'm sorry, bud.
No, you're good, dude. I enjoyed listening to your Irk Russell rant. That was fun. My happy thing, I got to play in our first All-Star tournament this past weekend, and my middle son finished second.
Nice.
Yeah, finished second in our first All-Star tournament. It was a lot of fun. Bowden put it on. KNC South. If anybody plays All-Star baseball around here, I highly encourage everybody to sign up for it. It's $250 a team, which is super cheap for All-Star tournaments. And it was great, dude. We thought we were gonna get rain on Saturday, but it turned out to be a gorgeous day, nice and overcast with the wind blowing a little bit. It was beautiful. They played in 3 games and came in second. It was pretty awesome. And we came in third, lost in the semifinals. The kid that we pitched in the semifinals pitched 5 2/3 of an inning, gave up 2 hits, 1 walk, 1 earned run, and struck out 16.
Wow.
Yep. Lost 2-1 in the semifinals. Just the game was so good. Like I was disappointed we lost, but like the game was so good. It's the best baseball game that I have ever been involved with. Not watching, like actually coaching or playing or anything. It's the best baseball game that I've ever been involved with. Both teams played really well. Great pitching on both sides, great defense. It was so much fun to coach. And the team we lost to eventually ended up winning the championship in the next game. So
have you ever played in one like that you lost and were just like, you couldn't even really be mad because that was such a good game?
Not baseball.
Just any sport. Just any sport.
Football, yes. Yeah. We a couple times against Sandy Creek and once against Creekside.
We played one against East Coweta in the playoffs. We were down 28-7 in the third quarter.
Damn.
Went into overtime. That's back when we had 2 5-minute overtimes.
Oh, yeah.
And score. We score to go up 31-28 with 32 seconds left. And they hit us on a Hail Mary.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was brutal. And then the next year, they came back down there and we beat their eyes out of their head. And then the next week, we played Colquitt County and beat them 15-8. And after the game, I wish I knew the guy's name. I went to Colquitt County and looked through all their stuff and tried to find him.
Yeah.
We were number 42.
Yeah.
Played Mike for him. And me and that dude beat the ever-loving crap out of each other for 4 quarters. And I'll be honest, he got me and I got him. Like it wasn't one of them. Like we went to war. And after the game, he was a senior, I was a junior. And I just remember me and him hugging each other. And then me like walking him off the field towards his sideline, just talking to him like with our arms around each other. Like it was like it was the best. That was the best sporting moment of my life. And we happened to win that game. But I feel like I would have felt the exact same way had we lost that game.
Yeah.
It was a mutual respect kind of deal, you know.
That's sort of how
those are fun.
We played the team we played had like 4 or 5 kids that I'd coached before when they were much younger, like 6 and 7 and 8 year olds. So like I knew these kids were good kids, and it was it's the first time that I've ever coached against kids that I've coached against or that I coached when they were small, and to see how they've grown up and like turned into really good baseball players. It was just fun.
That is fun.
Me and my middle son's coach and one of the coaches for the other team that beat us and a couple of their players, we all went out for Mexican afterwards. Like
That's great.
It was just neat. It was just really, really cool. Yeah. And we put it together too. We're looking forward towards state. We're going to play a team in state that has like 4 or 5 kids that Braxton played with when he was a little boy too. So
you made it to state?
We got to qualify this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, we were looking to teams that made state. We gotta qualify this weekend. We got districts at Hunter Park this weekend. So yeah,
not a bad trip.
We'll see. Yeah, we get Bowden last weekend, Hunter Park this weekend, and then if we qualify, state will be next weekend, and that'll be it for 12U All Stars. I know 10U All Stars I think are going to play in a couple more tournaments, but we're gonna do 3 this year for 12U, and then let the kids go have a summer and enjoy their time off.
Beautiful.
Yep. You got any show and tell today?
No. When my friend Bryce gave me this wire 2 years ago, but playoff baseball. That's Little League World Series, Warner Robins World Championship team autographed by all the dudes right there. I got so many stories from that team.
I have a bunch of empty beer cans. I don't know if that's good show and tell.
Yeah, that's all I got. I guess my show and tell was my present
card. I like that. That's a good show and tell. Yeah. You got anything else for us today?
Nah, brother. I love you.
Awesome. Love you too, man. Been a fantastic episode of TM5's Bro Therapy with Bass in the Bear.
Brought to you by Marine South.
Brought to you by Marine South. A good buddy, Clay Harden. If you need a boat repair, anything like that, go see him out in Carrollton at Marine South. If you like this, comment, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, turn it on your granny's house, whatever.
If you made it this far, you really do like us. Because this was Casey just bitching. So we appreciate you still being here.
As always, folks, have a wonderful, safe weekend, and we will see you next week. Fins up.
Love you, mean it.